clear to play. Mini Wargaming's Battle Blood Tactics!
Mini Wargamer Dave here from MiniWargaming.com. Welcome, Wargamers, to Battle Blood Tactics. In this series of videos, we're going to go over Warhammer 40k tactics as per the request of so many a Wargamer. First off, I need to put a disclaimer up here. These tactics are not coming from me, but rather they are coming from the community, more particularly the Mini Wargaming forum. This is by no means a definitive guide to the Warhammer 40k tactica. They are an amalgamation of tactics that you have provided, and I have just simply organized them together. So think of me as more of a facilitator. Treat it as such, and take away from it what you will. And if you would like to add your own tactics to any of the armies or anything in general, click on the link below. That'll bring you to the Warhammer 40k area of our forum. And post your tactics with the specific armies that you see already posted there, and create your own threads if you want. So in this video, we're going to be talking about list building, as well as choosing equipment. Ronan on the forum has left a very good explanation of choosing your list. Thank you very much, Ronan, for leaving this comment. By the way, if any of you leave comments, just know that it may be picked up and put in a video. Ronan says, when building your list, you'll need to carry on one universal rule, which is to divide your army up into different roles: offense, defense, and support. It's fairly simple. Offensive units are anything that's fast, hard-hitting, and completely terrifying to the enemy, and he would do anything he tries to destroy it or be destroyed. The point of these models is to serve as both a big distraction and something to plow through the enemy's lines. Example: Land Raider Crusader stuffed with your commander of choice and Assault Terminators and Lightning Claws. Defensive units are the ones that will either start off camping at an objective or run up and move towards one before bunkering down and staying put. Examples include Scout Snipers and Heavy Weapons. Support units are either extremely fast, long-ranged, or both. These guys are meant to back both your offensive and defensive units on the field, as well as contest objectives near the end of the game to tip the balance within your favor. Examples include Assault Marines, Deep Struck Terminators with Thunderhammers, Land Speeders, Dreadnoughts, and Drop Pods, and Stern Guard. Sorry for using Marine-only examples, but I hope you guys get the general idea. And I think we do get the general idea there. Offensive, defensive support units, they all have their different roles. Find out what units in your armies have those roles and play them accordingly. Pretty simple and straightforward. Now let's move on to choosing equipment. Ziggy on the forums leaves this meaty comment. Ziggy says, almost all the units in the game can take optional weapons and other war gear, from a pistol to a missile launcher, but when choosing you should think: 1. Do I really need this? 2. What's my unit's role on the battlefield? 3. Will this help or give my unit another role, or even ruin or change it? Let's say you have an army all set and ready to go, but you notice that you're a tiny bit under points. You're going to get upgrades. You look at your Devastator squad and think, well, I'm facing orcs, might want to give the sergeant a combi flamer. This is an example of wasting points. Sure, it seems good as flamers toast orcs en masse, but they're Devastators. They have long-range weapons. They don't need it. You should only buy upgrades that you know you'll use on the battlefield, not just because it seems good. Equipment can also change the unit's role. It can actually be good in the new role. Let's say you gave that whole assault squad melted bombs, even though they're made for fighting average infantry up close. The melted bombs let them go jumping around tank hunting, something they couldn't do easily or even at all normally. See? Optional war gear can give your units new roles, making a close combat squad into tank hunters or long-range support into devastating firepower. It's all about what you pick. Although new war gear can give new roles, it can also help the leader of the squad better at another role, but will ruin the squad's purpose. Look at the Dire Avengers. Their Exarch can take a few weapon options. Now let's say he took a Dire sword and pistol. Sure, this will make him much better in close combat, but the Dires are made to be anti-horde troop in the shooting phase, as they can do a lot of shots and pierce their armor, not to mention get blade storm. But the Exarch needs to get into close combat to be effective, and Dire Avengers can't do that because they just aren't meant for it, and don't have the strength or toughness to back it up. This ruins part of the squad's effectiveness. You either go into close combat or do what the squad's meant for. If you gave the Exarch dual Avengers Shuriken catapults, I think that's it, then the squad's effectiveness is increased dramatically, because they can excel in what they're meant to do, not be hindered just because some guy goes, hey, let's do something because I'm good at it now. Basically, to sum it all up, just think, will you make the squad better at what it does, give it a viable role, or ruin its role by giving it weapons that make it want to do something it's not meant for? I hope this helps some players out there. I think I get the general idea of what you're saying here. So with that, we can gather to choose units that are made specifically for the purpose that they're made for, and not try to change them to do something that they're not good for, thereby ruining the effectiveness of the unit. I think that's a very good tip. So to sum up this general tactics video, I would say this: make sure you know what role your unit is playing, be it offensive, defensive, or support, and make sure that those roles are carried out effectively with the best possible war gear, and that they aren't changed just for the purposes of making it look like it's something that it shouldn't be because you have extra points to spend, thereby wasting the points and causing you to lose your game and hate your life. Thanks again, Ziggy and Ronan, for leaving your comments on these tactics. For all of those who wish to leave tactics, please visit the link below. That is the Warhammer 40k area of the forum. Leave your tactics in their perspective threads. Look forward to more Battle Blood tactics, and happy wargaming.
Visit miniwargaming.com to see our videos 1 month early.